Boy, do I hate the Disney Vault. Why? It's stupid. Why in the heck would you put some of the greatest animated movies ever made into a vault for God knows how long? It's...
Those are the words that start it all. It's been 10 long years since I took that crappy mic my next door neighbor gave me, sat down at my computer, and just let loose. I was just an energetic 16-year-old country boy with a lot of time on my hands and a lot of creativity on my mind. But little did I know this would be my ticket to recognition and stardom. It's so surreal knowing that I started when this guy was the #1 subscribed channel on YouTube.
I think I might drown!
So you're probably all wondering, how did this all started? Why did I start ranting? Well, in the early days of YouTube, and I was going through my awkward 16-year-old mad at the world phase, I was frustrated with a lot of things that were changing around me, like people tend to get. I started to go on YouTube to look for ways to get my frustrations out. Only problem was, not a lot of people were ranting on the topics that legit frustrated me. So, when my next door neighbor gave me a computer mic that he wasn't using anymore, I decided, I can do something with this. As the old saying goes, if you want something done right, do it yourself. And that's exactly what I did. And as they say, the rest is history. It amazes me that I was able to catch on so quickly. I never thought I would break the 500 subscriber threshold, let alone 25,000 subscriber threshold. That's insane. But I guess that's how it was back in the days of early YouTube. Without the algorithm change and all the big companies taking all the attention, it was easier for people like me to get noticed. And it was easier for me to get suggested in other rant videos. So, I guess that's how I was found. But, any of you guys who have been with me since the beginning of Puppyzilla Man 4, let me know how you discovered me. I'm curious. But as I continue to do rants as a continuous thing on a weekly basis, I found myself starting to run a little. I started to realize that this wasn't going to be easy. I started using scripts for my videos, and coming up with jokes was always a challenge for me because I find I work better when I work naturally, but coming up with ways to be funny for scripts, I've always had trouble with that. I'm more of a improv, in the moment kind of guy. So it was hard for me to keep things funny, and that makes some of my old videos harder to watch for me at least. And I never really had the big budgets that every YouTubers nowadays have. HD cameras, those little foam things they put on their walls to mask their voice and prevent echoes from happening, and just about a lot of other stuff. I couldn't afford better mics at the time either, so we were stuck with these little $15 crappy mics. But I guess that didn't matter in the end because everybody liked my stuff and they kept on coming back, and that's what that I appreciated. But not everybody was a fan, and I'll admit, I never expected to get the kind of attention I had, and that includes the negative kind. So I did kind of react a little harshly to the criticism I received back then. And looking back now, yeah, I really deserved the criticism I got. I'm sure I wasn't the easiest guy to listen to or watch back then. And of course, I'm referring to the legit criticism videos, not the parody videos or the harsh words and that people would say. I tended to ignore those, or if I didn't, I just passively aggressively reacted to them. But I think those criticisms did help me to grow as a creator and start to think about how can I improve and how can I make things better. And I guess that's all that matters in the end. Things were chugging along for about 4 years or so, but I found myself around 2013 to start losing some steam. I was starting to make up to 4 videos a week, and that overwork was driving me insane. Looking back, I cannot even imagine doing that nowadays, let alone back then when I had a college and a part-time job to balance. And I was doing that kind of workload nonstop for a long time. Such is the workaholic in me. That's just how I've always been. So I decided in 2013 to end Benthelooney and everything. albeit just take a short break. Because I did come back in 2014 a few months later. But I took it in a completely different direction. I tried to make Benthelooney a more optimistic character. I tried to be funny without being angry. Because I try not to be angry in real life. I don't think it suits my personality very well. So I was always playing myself up as some kind of exaggerated character. And you know, there were some times when I would purposely do rants on stuff again and say things that I knew was going to make people angry because I guess you can say I developed Stockholm Syndrome, and I just liked people. I just liked I grew to like making people. I grew to like making some people mad. That's why I did so many rants on Adventure Time regular show and the Looney Tunes show. Guess I was just the anti-authoritarian in me. So I came back a few months later, and then I had to take a break again in 2014 because I moved to college. And there was that long gap from 2014 to late 2015. And I'll be lying, not doing those videos for so long, I tended to miss it. That was such a huge part of me for a long time, and not doing it made me feel empty in my life, like I wasn't creating something on a consistent basis. Because once you, as a creator, you get used to doing something like that, I'm sure all of you guys who create stuff can relate to this. When you take a break from something you've been doing a while, it kind of feels, you feel weird. You feel like you need to be working on something, and you just can't not be productive for that long of time without having the itch to go back to it. And that's what happened to me. So after I resigned from my part-time job at McDonald's while I was in college, I decided to pick up the microphone again in 2015 and go back to making Benthelooney rants. And I think in hindsight I felt this was going to be the last time, because I just wanted to give the fans one last hurrah with Benthelooney and be able to use the production values that I wish I could have used back in the old days, because keep in mind, I wasn't very technologically illiterate. I'm a redneck after all, so I didn't know how to download video content and clips and all that stuff. And I never wanted to use it. I just wanted to keep my videos very do-it-yourself and with pictures and crappy audio. Maybe to inspire other people to make their own videos, and they can grow from there as artists, just like I did. But I decided to bring it back for my college years, just to give the fans one last hurrah with Benthelooney and so they can get an idea of what the videos would have been like had I had now that I was able to use audio and video clips and do more with the videos, that they could get an idea of what that would have been like had I had that opportunity beforehand. But then after I finally said goodbye to Benthelooney in 2016, there was always that feeling of, where do I go now? Because I was going through some unemployment issues at the time, and all my YouTube videos were the only source of income I had because I partnered with Frederator in 2014. I think that's what helped inspire my wanting to go back to Benthelooney rants again, because hey, it's easy money for me. But yeah, in 2016 that was kind of like my only source of income, and I remember discovering the Odd Ones Out and other storytime animation videos in 2016. That was becoming a new thing nowadays, and I think even my best buddy Dill, he pointed out to me that Odd Ones Out is gonna have 1 million subscribers before we knew it, because I discovered him when he had like 20,000, or yeah, he was still in the growing stages, and sure enough, he called it. So yeah, fresh out of animation school, I wanted to try something with this new storytime thing. But I was still kind of new in the whole digital drawing thing. As obvious, my little storytime animation videos are a little rough around the edges. And I did borrow a lot from Odd Ones Out and other storytime animation channels. The simple designs, the white backgrounds and everything. They're much to be desired now. And I only stopped making them because I ran out of stories to tell. It's hard to say, but I just ran out of interesting stories from my personal life I could talk about and do animations for. I'm sure I could find things to talk about and do animations of if I felt like it, but I felt into a creative drought where I didn't think those were me. I didn't think those represented who I was. I just wanted to do something more with my creations. So, that's why I decided to do those Daisy and Dexter cartoons. And I think that was a fun thing because I had a feeling I would never get into the industry and do the kind of animations I ever wanted to do. So I figured, hey, why not do it myself? And, there's a real beauty to doing stuff yourself and doing it simply. Yeah, it's not going to look like Disney or anything, but does it really need to? I feel as long as the stories are there and you're at least halfway decent drawing, you can make it work. I mean, for gosh sakes, the animatic for Beauty and the Beast got a standing ovation at a film festival, so yeah, doesn't need to be too fancy. But then I hit another roadblock where, because I like to really overwork myself, I thought I was going to be able to get a new Daisy and Dexter video done every week. Like a cartoon series. You get a new episode every week, but that wasn't going to happen. And I kind of knew that. So, once again, I had to put a halt to that. And would I ever do Daisy and Dexter again? Possibly, but since then I've come up with so much new ideas that if I ever try to do something like that again, it's going to be completely different. So I figured I'd just go back to the start and do my cartoon reviews, but this time instead of doing the fully edited things, because I eventually found a job and that was going to take away a lot of my time. That was going to take away a lot of the time I had to make videos. I figured I'd just go back to the start and do these simple cartoon reviews, but instead of doing these edited videos with clips and everything, because I didn't have the time to do that anymore, just do these simple little speed draw videos while I read off of a script and then edit them all together. But once again, I just felt like I wasn't satisfied as a creator. Because doing cartoon reviews, once you make your own stuff, it's really hard to go back to talking about other people's stuff. And I just found myself not being able to articulate why I liked or disliked things. It just wasn't me. Or maybe just reading off of scripts wasn't me. It always felt so inorganic. And I would say some kinds of vocabulary that I would never say in real life. So I always felt like I was trying to balance out a smart critic with myself, and it just wasn't going to work out. So I had to stop doing cartoon reviews for a bit. And I adapted to another thing and noticed that more socio-political videos were becoming popular at the time, so I felt the need to adapt to that, and I started doing that myself. Because I'm always wanting to try something new, and I broke my one rule, like trying to get into that kind of stuff, but I mostly tried to stay within topics that were related to art and stuff like that. But at the same time, nobody watches my videos for political stuff. That's not who I am. I'm the funny cartoon guy. But it was nice to try out. 'Cause you never know. That could be the thing that gets me really popular. But I do owe it to those storytime videos for getting me the amount of subscribers I had. That McDonald's video I did is close to getting 1 million views. Like, holy crap. I would be very ecstatic if that got to 1 million. But eventually, after the whole commentary thing, here I am now, doing whatever I feel like doing. Because I just told my friend SB99 the other day that I'm doing these like every week videos where I talk about a topic while trying to draw. It just doesn't work for me. I feel like I work better when I have some guidelines to talk about, like I'm doing right now. I just have a little skeleton script here, and I'm just going from the little bullet points I want to talk about. And I think I'm going to do this format from now on. But you never know, folks. This is just how I am. I'm my hardest critic to please. I'm always trying to satisfy myself and do stuff that I like while trying to keep you guys satisfied as well. It's really hard. It's hard for me to get committed to one thing before I have the desire to do something else. But we'll see what the future holds. I don't plan on stopping videos anytime soon. I want to keep doing them, and the future is ours to see. Que sera, sera. So, thank you guys for listening to my little retrospective, and because I'm so appreciative of all you folks watching my videos over the years, this next part of this retrospective is going to be all about you as I answer the questions that I had you ask me. So, let's take a quick break and I'll get back to that. Hey folks, welcome back. So, time for part 2 of this long-ass retrospective for my 10th anniversary. I'm going to start the Q&A portion. All you lovelies have asked me some great questions. I'm going to try to answer all of them. So, let's get started. Moro asks, are you still interested in making Daisy and Dexter or working in animation? I think I kind of answered the Daisy and Dexter question in my retrospective, but to answer your other question, with much thinking, I don't think the industry is suited for me. You have to kiss a lot of butt and have to compromise a lot, and you basically find yourself creating other people's visions, and rarely, if ever, do you have a chance to do your own. And that's not the kind of environment I think suits me, so I like working independently better, and I like having a safety net of a full-time job to fall back on, because with the animation industry, you tend to find yourself, once one project ends, you find yourself unemployed, so you have to find work elsewhere, but then you have to compete with the new college graduates graduating and trying to, you're competing with them for positions and everything, so yeah, that just doesn't sound like the kind of environment that works best for me. But we'll see. You never know. I'm not shooting down the idea. But so if I ever get the opportunity, then sure, I'll consider it. Darren Treppenberg asks, hey Ben, simple question. Do you listen to country singer Johnny Cash? Of course I do. How can I be into country music and not love Johnny Cash? FMS, are your parents aware of your sexual preference? If so, what's their opinion of it? Also, what's your opinion of MLP coming to an end? That's kind of a personal question, but I don't think I'm comfortable answering that question, so yeah. As for MLP coming to an end, I'm going to give my thoughts on that in a future video when it finally does, so look forward to that. The Lucky One asks, had any plans for videos that you never went with? Yes, plenty. I have plenty of unfinished scripts saved on my Google Docs that never went anywhere, that are still there, and I kept them there for the sake of, maybe I'll pick them up again, but I never did. As for rants I wanted to do, I think I addressed that in an earlier video, but yeah, but seeing as how I always made those fast, that was a rare occurrence. But yeah, nowadays I find myself starting ideas and never finishing them. Yeah, that's just how that is. Big Bang Theory Bro 333 asks, your thoughts on the remake of It? Can you review Bumblebee? Your other thoughts on the remake of Child's Play? Can you do a top 10 worst sequels? I did love the remake of It. That was pretty good. No, I don't think I'll do a review of Bumblebee because I'm not interested in Transformers. Thoughts on the remake of Child's Play? I'm a fan of the series. I'm interested to see what they do with it. Top 10 worst sequels? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Crunchy Cookie 06 asks, have you ever thought about traveling the world? Do you still hate the Aristocats? What are your thoughts on the book The Clown of God by Tommy DePolia? Yeah, I would love to travel the world. I'm always been a fan of wide open space and everything, and I would like to see different parts of the world before I die. I'm going to Atlanta, Georgia for the first time in a month or so for MomoCon, and that's going to be the first state I've ever been in that's not Illinois or Missouri, so I'm really looking forward to that. No, I still don't hate Aristocats. It's a cat movie. I can't hate it. And no, I don't think I've ever heard of that book, so can't really give my thoughts on it. Nico Safer1 asks, do you think that MLP Season 8 is as terrible as everyone said it was? Have you seen any of the Asterisk movies? Have you been following the drama about the allegations of Vic Mignogna? No, I don't think MLP Season 8 is as bad as everybody says it was. And I'll give my thoughts further on that in a future video. Yes, I have seen one of the Asterisk movies. I think it's the 12 Trials of Asterisk. That was what it was called. My friend Dell showed it to me, and we had a good time with it. I liked how Tex Avery-ish it was, and I look forward to seeing some more. I've been kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I'd say ignorant concerning all the allegations of Vic Mignogna. I get the general gist of it, but at the same time, I'm not following it like some TMZ article or something like that. I was wanting to do a video on it, but I wanted to wait for everything for the dust to get settled and everything before I give my opinions on it, because I found with drama like this, people are always trying to get their thoughts out as soon as possible, but there are always further developments that haven't come out yet that always change everybody's minds. I don't want to do that. I want to wait for the dust to settle and the case to be final before if I ever give my thoughts on it. Gaming Animator asks, I swear I'm not trying to be rude, but I legitimately want to know, are you sexually frustrated? I don't think so. ToonFan asks, what is your history with the Muppets? I was a big fan of them when I was a kid, and I got really into them. My interest started to wane as I got older, but I still like them a lot. Grunge Sickness asks, what's your fave 90s band? Well, to satisfy your name, I'd have to say Nirvana. They're one of my favorite bands ever, so there you go. AJ Ford asks, favorite movie of 2018? I haven't had much of a chance to see many movies from 2018, so I'd have to say Into the Spider-Verse based on what I've seen so far. Odie Dog asks, congratulations on 10 years. Thank you. I've been watching your channel since 2012. Ooh, got an early bird here. I like it. Question, what's your favorite video game? Banjo-Kazooie. The Saint03 asks, would you ever do a fan meetup in Chicago downtown? Probably not. I don't like that kind of attention around me to have a whole event based around me, but if I ever go to a convention, I wouldn't mind fans coming by and seeing me and taking pictures with me and stuff like that. I think that'd be pretty cool, and I'd sign anything if they want me to. Salem Jimenez asks, hey Bim, who was your favorite animated villain of all time? I'll have to get back to you on that one. That's something I really gotta think about. I wouldn't never really think about that too much. Well, Metcalf asks, what is your plans for the cartoons you've created? I think I'm gonna make some comics. Yeah, after getting into comics, I think this could be the medium that works best for me for where I can do my creations and tell my stories without needing a big crew to help make me do it. It might take me a while to do them, but at the same time, I think it'd be a really great experience for me and a great way to express my stories and do what I want with my characters. Joshua Reaper asks, do you have a favorite anime? If so, who in your opinion is the sexiest character in that said anime? My favorite anime is the Slayers. I'm going to go into more detail about that in a future video. And I'd have to say the sexiest character in it is Naga the Serpent. Marvin the Maniac says, I've been watching your videos since 2011. Wow, another early bird. Thank you so much for keeping up with me all these years, Marvin. Ryan's Treasures asks, congratulations on 10 years. Thank you. I don't really have a question for you. This is honestly more of a request. Since you've mentioned the Walt Disney Treasures DVD series in a few of your videos, I'd really like to see you talk about your thoughts on the series in a video. Maybe. I don't know. I don't like to talk about DVDs too much, but we'll see. Thanks so much for watching me for so long, though. Handleman87 asks, if you were ever to do a porn comic, what would the story be about? And would there also be a possible theme to it as well? If given the chance, would you ever want to star in a porn video? What movies or TV series have influenced your artwork the most? I'd say I already did do a porn comic. Technically, I'm working on one right now. My Backstage Passes comic. So, if you're interested, you can check that out. I don't think I would ever want to be in a porn video because I'm very camera shy. I'm starting to get over some of my shyness, but not to the point where I can do something like that. But, yeah, you never know. What movies or TV series have influenced your artwork the most? I'd say probably Bruce Timm's DC Animated Universe cartoons, as well as early 2000s cartoons, like the old Cartoon Network shows that have thick outlines and flat colors and stuff like that. And more recently, the Loud House, which feels like an early 2000s cartoon brought from the grave or something like that. Rainy Rouge asks, favorite songs? What advice would you give to creators, if any, who want to start posting their work online? What hobbies do you have outside making art and videos? Favorite genres and least favorite genres? What YouTubers do you like watching and which ones influence your work? Favorite song? Depends on what kind of mood I'm in that day, but I find my favorite song switching usually between Dimples by John Lee Hooker to I'll Be Your Mirror by the Velvet Underground to Pale Blue Eyes by the Velvet Underground. What advice would you give to creators of any kind who want to start posting their work online? Just do it. That's all I gotta say. Don't wait for anything. Just go ahead and go for it. You never know what's gonna happen. Just like what happened to me. What hobbies do you have outside making art and videos? I like watching movies, TV shows, listening to music, if you count those as hobbies. But stuff I like doing is reading, walking, just shopping, just general stuff like that. Favorite genres and least favorite genres? What? You didn't specify. I'd love to answer your question if you would just specify what you mean. Music, movies, darn it. What YouTubers do you like watching and which ones influence your work? The Angry Video Game Nerd, Rebel Taxi, obviously. And I tend to find myself listening to scary story YouTubers while I sleep at night. Ironic, I know. Yeah, I haven't been watching much YouTube recently. I've been more wrapped up into Netflix and Hulu. But, yeah, I tend to watch some videos. Adolf Hitler asks, what do you think of the 2019 Kim Possible film? I haven't seen it, nor do I plan on it. Thanks for the nice question, Hitler. No, you asked, have you ever had a pet? Just curious. I've had several pets over the years, and two of them that I've had for the longest time are Daisy and Dexter, who happen to inspire my cartoon characters of the same names. Tay Nebs asks, how strict were your parents when it came to discipline? Could you give me some examples of that? I tended to get my butt spanked a lot when I misbehaved as a kid, and I remember one time my mother unplugged my TV so I couldn't watch cartoons, so I just had my dad plug it back in for me. What do you think of DirecTV? I was a loyal customer for several years. I don't have it anymore, but I never had any problems with it. What companies are you boycotting and why? I'd say Walmart and Amazon. I never shop there. I don't like to shop at companies that are putting everybody else out of business. What are life lessons that you learned in college? Definitely to be more assertive. I tended to let people take advantage of my nice guy attitude, and I'm not going to let that happen anymore. I'm going to put my foot down from now on when it comes to stuff like that. What's the worst restaurant you ever ate at? I don't know. I've never had that bad of experience in a restaurant. In your opinion, what is the most annoying behavior in a movie theater? Whispering. I mean, I can handle talking loud, but whispering is the worst because it just sounds like... just whispering in general just bothers me. I always hated it. I don't know why. Do you like Michael Moore? Yeah, he makes good movies, I think. Have you seen the TV series Dexter? If so, what do you think of it? No, I haven't. Do you like Gordon Ramsay? Yeah, he's a nice guy in real life from what I hear. What style do you think fits you as an animator? Probably, like I said, the thick outlined, UPA styled cartoons. Was Chicago always freezing cold when you were in college? If so, how cold was it? Obviously only during the winter time, but there were times it got to sub-zero temperatures. It was pretty uncomfortable. Ooh, that was a lot of questions, Ty, but I answered them all. You're welcome. Ian Anderson asks, do you like the band Cradle of Filth? Never heard of them. Super Sponge 235 asks, happy 10th anniversary. Have you played Mario? If so, what's your favorite gaming character? Which Mario are you talking about? I play lots of Mario games, and Yoshi was always my favorite. What is your favorite and least favorite movie? My favorite movie is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. As for least favorite movie, I don't know. Always depends. I tend not to watch movies that I don't like very much, but I'd say E.T. What will be the next review or top 10 list be? We'll have to wait and see. Who is your favorite cartoon character? Probably Daffy Duck. Can you please answer these questions? I already did. Thank you for asking them. EMC Video Productions asks, with the risk of not getting too nosy, what's your full-time job now? I tend not to get too personal with stuff like that, but let's just say it's a blue-collar job. I really like it. I love my managers, and I wouldn't trade it for anything so far. I'm having nothing but positive experience with it. Gets me on my feet, gets me moving, and not just sitting at a computer all day, which suits my outgoing country feel. AMC Video Productions also asks, how do you feel now compared to when you were making videos 5 years ago? Do you think you've improved or grown, or do you look back somewhat fondly on those times as having kickstarted your career on the tubes? Yeah, I definitely think I've grown over the years, and I hope to keep growing. When people tend to ask me what's my favorite video I made, I always say my newest one. Who do you think is the better voice actor, Mel Blanc, Frank Welker, or Paul Frees? Too much to choose, man. Probably Frank Welker, because the man has ungodly range to him. Puppetry or animation? Animation, obviously. Bob Clampett Looney Tunes or Chuck Jones Looney Tunes? Bob Clampett. Film or digital? I don't work with either, so digital, I guess. Have you heard or watched the Looney Tunes Critic? If not, here's a link to his YouTube channel. I'll check those out sometime. Israel Yutsara or Ram the One Half? Well, I've only seen Ram the One Half, so guess I'll go with that one. Do you think that limited animation is done right can still be considered good animation? Of course. I tend not to call it limited animation because that would imply animation needs to be fully movable and stuff like that. I prefer to call it stylized animation. So, I think any animation like that, as long as it's look good and believable, I think that's all that matters. It doesn't have to be Disney quality all the time. That was Papa Chillo Zap that asked those questions. Web Kinsdare56 asks, how do you personally feel about MLP coming to an end season 9, and how would you personally picture G5 being like coming up in the near future? Once again, I'll address that in a future video, but thank you for asking. Jay Gush Singh asks, are you a fan of Rakimo Takashi's work such as Ram the One Half, Urusei Yatsura, and Inuyasha? Yeah, I like Ram the One Half and Inuyasha. Have you seen Avenue Q? Have you seen Avenue Q? And if you have, what do you think of it? I've heard some of the songs from it. It sounds like a pretty good musical. Just haven't seen it all the way through. Jimmy the Nerd. Is there any British film or TV cartoon that you wish was released in America? I don't know of any, so I don't know. I don't think I can answer that. What do you think is the worst example of toxic fan behavior? Probably when they harass like the creators of the show or people involved with it. That's never cool to harass people just because you disagree with them on something. That's going way too far, and you're the scum of the earth if you do that. If Team America World Police fought terrorists in your town, what kind of unspeakable damage will result because of it? Not much, because I live in the middle of nowhere, but probably the 5 buildings we have in this town would be destroyed. No big loss there, I guess. Cody Goodnight asks, who are some of your favorite movie directors? Akira Kurosawa, Hayao Miyazaki, Stanley Kubrick, David Lynch, Quentin Tarantino, Frank Capra, Victor Fleming, Alfred Hitchcock, Guillermo del Toro. That's all I got off the top of my head. Oh, Ishiro Honda. How can I forget about Ishiro Honda? Oh, and Jackie Chan. He's a director too. Have you ever been interested in manga, like the works of Junji Ito or Naoko Urasawa? Yes, actually, my friend One Man Show Off Trent is getting me into manga, and I think I'll be picking up some manga before the year is over, before I know it. I remember you said you were bisexual. If you wouldn't mind, who are some actors you consider attractive? Porn has spoiled me to the point where I don't find a lot of mainstream actors attractive, because once you see everything, it's hard to go back to being attracted to, oh, the face, oh, the chest. Like, I want to see everything, doggone it. Also, I'm proud and happy for you to make your 10th anniversary, Ben. I hope you enjoy it and have a good future on YouTube. Thank you, Cody, and thank you for being such a loyal fan over the years. Michael McChuckin asks, you ever been to BronyCon? This year is going to be the last one. Sadly, no, I've never been there, but it's a shame it's going to be the last one. But you never know, some other conventions might pop up in the future. Jesse15 asks, which upcoming animated series are you most looking forward to? Season 2 of Hilda. Other than that, I tend not to get too into waiting for animated shows to come out because the waits are ungodly long. I just wait for them to come out, and then I give them a chance, because it's always a surprise. How long do you think cable TV has left before it goes under? You know, knowing how mediums, I never want to say mediums are going to go under, because they always find ways to stay alive, especially cable TV. But you know, if they don't adapt with the times, then yeah, it probably won't be long before I give it 10 to 20 years. Area Girly Magic asks, what do you think of the new DC superhero girls created by Lauren Faust? I love it, and I would like to do a video on it sometime soon. It's basically the next coming of MLP. Aria Girly Magic also asks, you ever watch Pan Pizza Rebel Taxi Videos podcast? Yeah, I used to listen to it a lot when I was in first starting college. I used to listen to it when I worked on projects. I've lost track of it recently, but I'd like to listen to it again sometime, and I really liked coming on. I really liked them having me on last year and being able to talk with them. That was pretty cool. And I hope sometime in the future they invite me again. My buddy, the almighty Leroy, asks, what is the largest object you can fit inside Uranus? You don't want to know. Polly A. Fatone asks, hey, Benthelooney, thoughts on the lunatic that tried to attack 61-year-old Bret Hart the other day? Yeah, what a jerk. I hope he's sitting behind bars where he belongs. Also, congrats on 10 years, Ben. Hashtag legend. Thank you, Polly. Snowflake Buttsworld asks, what made you stop doing Ben's rants? I explained that earlier, so there you go. Will you ever do Ben rants again? I don't think so. I'd like to move on from that, because that's not who I am. What do you think of Space Jam 2? I'm kind of looking forward to it, honestly. Never know, it could be good. Kirk Pritchard asks, what is your favorite stop motion animated movie and TV of all time? Well, I'd have to say Robot Chicken for TV. As for a stop motion movie, probably Kubo and the Two Strings. Are you looking forward to Disney Plus? I am, actually. I think that's a good idea, and it's nice and cheap, and having every Simpsons season is worth the price alone for me. Do you watch Netflix Stranger Things? I tried to watch the first episode, and it's not like I didn't like it or anything. I don't know, I just stopped and moved on to something else, and I might go back to watching it sometime soon. Fanimation 15 asks, if you were to make an animated film adaptation of an existing media, which one would you choose? I would like to do a legit Looney Tunes movie, like animated movie, no celebrities, no nothing, just the Looney Tunes. I wouldn't know what the idea for the story would be, but I'd just like to do something like that, because dag nab, they deserve it. They're the Looney Tunes. Jacob Hauser asks, it's me, Eric Movie Buff. Do you want to do a song with me? Maybe. Nico Doan asks, what's your favorite Hayao Miyazaki movie? Princess Mononoke? What's your favorite Mel Brooks movie? Blazing Saddles? Have you heard the power metal band Hammerfall? If so, what's your favorite song? No, I haven't. Who's your favorite stand-up comedian? Not really into stand-up that much, honestly. Darren Treppenberg asks, what happened to your Why I'm an Atheist video? I remember watching it a while back, but I can't seem to find it anymore. What happened to it? Oops. I guess I saw it on private and forgot to put it back on public. I'll get to that soon after this video. Max Turtle 2 Gaming and More asks, do you like Teen Titans Go after the movie? Yeah, I like Teen Titans Go. It's an alright cartoon. Mark Fitzpatrick asks, why'd you get rid of Benthelooney? I already answered that previously. What happened to your last day of living with your roommates? I just talked with the one I liked. I just talked with one of them I liked for a while I waited for the RA to come by and take my keys and everything, and then that was that. I got out of Dodge pretty quickly. I was just ready to get the heck out of there. Do you know what happened to Jackass after he moved out? No, and he better hope he doesn't meet me again, because he would definitely get a stern talking to from me. Are you ever gonna do another storytime video? Maybe. I don't know. I never like to rule out anything. What do you think of Gremlins? One of my favorite movies of all time. Favorite Nicktoon? Avatar: The Last Airbender? What do you think of your old videos? I already answered that too, but thank you for asking all those questions, Mark. Matt Co. asks, what are your thoughts on My Little Pony ending after season 9? Man, I'm getting that question a lot, am I? And I'll address it in a future video. Terry Holong 2005 asks, have you ever seen Power Rangers Beast Morphers on Nick? Nope. Have you ever seen Marvel Cinematic Universe? Yes, I've seen plenty of Marvel movies. I got into them recently, and I've been loving them ever since. How do you feel about the DC Extended Universe? I haven't seen any of them, so yeah, can't really give an opinion on them. Ryan Blanche asks, is 2019 going to be the year when all of our favorite shows and film series end? Possibly. It's looking that way, isn't it? One Mikey 19 asks, what are your thoughts on NLP ending after season 9? Okay, I'm sorry folks, if I get that question again, I'm just going to skip it, sorry. Are you excited for Craig McQuacken's new show, Kid Cosmic? Yeah, I always like Craig McQuacken stuff. Can't wait for it. What are your thoughts on Brian Robbins becoming Nickelodeon's new president? I guess it has potential. We'll have to wait and see. I don't really watch much Nick nowadays other than Loud House, so since you decided not to continue your top 10 favorite movies of all time, will you at least give your top 10 favorite movies? Yeah, I think I'll do a top 20 sometime. I've been thinking about it. It's just hard to narrow down your favorite movies to just 20. So you know nothing asks, question, what happened to your old account? Oh, I forgot to address that in my retrospective. Basically, my old account, Puppy's Little Man 4, because who remembers passwords nowadays? I just had it to automatically save my password, and my computer crashed, and when I got back, everything I was logged into was logged out, and for some reason I couldn't log back into my old account. I tried every password I could have possibly had, and nothing was working. And Google recently did this thing where you linked Google accounts with your YouTube account, and it linked a Google account I don't remember using, so I just had to start over and try again, and here I am. General Nick of the Holy Zest Empire asks, what happened to your older videos? What happened to your older types of videos like the low budget rants? Well, like I said, I just found other stuff that I like to do, and I just grew from there. Alright, that's all the questions on YouTube. Switching over to Twitter. My good friend Blake Nikos asks, what's one video that you don't regret making in the past? I'd say my review of the Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle movie. I'm still proud of how that one came out. Jimmy the Nerd asks, what would you consider your best advice for artists who love drawing yet experience creative roadblocks in their brains? Try just to draw something, anything that's right in front of you, or if not, just look up a picture online of something from life and just draw it, and just do that for a while until you come up with ideas for something else. That's what I usually do. Stephen Nader 20XX asks, do you look forward to any future Disney's Oddwald the Lucky Rabbit cartoons? Sure, I love that little guy. Brendan Popolin asks, Ben, what are your top 5 favorite regular show episodes? I haven't watched enough of the show to have a top 5, but so I'll have to get back to you on that one. IIDX Gold asks, if you could be able to redo 3 of your videos, which ones would they be and why? Probably my our classic cartoons racist video, my the problem with cartoon fans video, and probably my storytime animation videos. I know that's more than 3, but yeah, the classic cartoons video. There are some things in that video I regret saying. They came off as really harsh, and even I cringe at some of the stuff I said, so I like to do that. Same with my cartoon fans video. I said some kind of mean stuff to Mr. Inner, and he's a nice guy. I got nothing against him. I kind of feel sorry for some of the stuff I said to him, and I think he gets a little too much hate, so. And my storytime animation videos, well, because I've grown as an artist and as an animator, I think I can make those a lot better now and make them easier to watch. What was your least favorite, worst school subject? Math. I hate it. What is the weirdest dream you ever had? I don't know. I tend to forget them. In fact, I think I had one last night where I had a nightmare I was still in school and I was taking all day just to get one homework project done. I'm not sure what that was about. Omega asks, thoughts on Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix? I've only seen one segment so far, like my friend Trent showed me, and I really liked it. I'd like to see more. Bollocks Harbin asks, are there any video game series you've had fond memories of? The Banjo-Kazooie series, the Super Smash Bros. Series, Pokemon series. It's mostly stuff that were on the GameCube, PS2, and Nintendo 64. Thoughts on Disney owning Fox? Kind of weird, but I think if Disney stops buying everything around them, then it's not going to bother me too much. But I still don't know how to feel about Mickey Mouse and Homer Simpson being related now, business-wise. David Crookashank asks, have you seen The Dragon Prince? No, I haven't. Zachary Bilbo asks, what videos do you regret making the most? What are your favorite videos that you've ever made? Like I said, my favorite video is always my newest one, so there you go. And yeah, I think I kind of addressed that regret making video post. I regret Ben Sings probably the most. Yeah, and our classic cartoons racist videos, I could retool that. And yeah, I think that's what I got so far. Do you have any plans for Daisy and Dexter in the future? I don't know. Well, if I ever get ideas again, we'll have to wait and see. Alright, that's all of them. Woo! I got them all done in an hour. So, thanks guys for joining me for my 10th anniversary celebration. And it's been quite a long ride. Been some ups and downs, but I'm glad you're all still here supporting me and enjoying my content.
And you know, maybe my life hasn't gone the way I wanted it to since I started making videos. But you know what? I don't regret a thing. Because since I've done these videos, I've met some of the coolest people who have become some of my closest friends. And they made it all worth it in the end. I wouldn't trade that for anything. And those of you watching this all know who you are. I love you all, and I'm glad you're a part of my life. And I look forward to us sharing a lot of great memories together. I love you all. I thank you, all of you, for your support over the years. And I look forward to entertaining you for 10 more years to come. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for asking all your lovely questions. And as always, stay loony, my toonies.